Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we're starting a series on the game Owlboy. Before we begin, I want to point up in the top left corner, look at how big that number is for a version number. 1.3.6515.23925, which sometimes the version numbers are dates. So that might explain one of those being really long, but it kind of doesn't explain why two of those are that long. And generally what you do is when you have a 3 numbering system, I've never really seen a standard for a 4 numbering system. The first number indicates whether a program is in its first generation. So you wouldn't go to a 2.0 until you've basically completely redone everything and it looks completely different. That it's generally something that people might want to stay with a 1.9 over a 2.0 if they just like the old interface. Then the second number is usually an indicator when features have been added, or at least significant features have been added. So the 0.3 might mean that they've added 3 rounds of features, or maybe just 3 features. And then the third number in the 3 number system is usually specifically for like security updates or bug fixes. But I've never seen a 4 numbering system, so is it like and security updates aren't that important in video games. That this is all important because this game started in 2007 in development and went for 9 years, and that kind of explains all of it. Now you may notice it looks pretty nice, but it is a little pixely. That's intentional. It was highly critically acclaimed, and it is getting re-released for the Switch and the Xbox One and the PS4 pretty soon now, and that's why I'm covering it. Also because I just want to play it because it was highly acclaimed. However, I personally kind of am having a problem with the graphics. It's a little too blocky, and for a modern game trying to emulate the 8-bit era pixely graphics, even in this instance where they've done it very nicely, it still doesn't quite look right to me. There's not a lot of features here. Letter boxing is the most confusing one because when I have it on, it seems like nothing happens on my monitor, which is a 16:9 1080p monitor, so TV. So maybe the game is just made at 16:9 and so there is no letter boxing, which then that means you would only turn this on if you were playing on a 4:3 square TV or something like a 16:10 computer monitor or something like that. For recording, I always turn off VSync. The game didn't start at full screen to begin with. That might also be affecting the graphics, but certainly I don't want to play a game in a window. And then it always defaults to this keyboard setup, which certainly looks like there would be some way to scroll down here, but everything I push on the controller and even on the keyboard with the arrow keys doesn't seem like there really is anything to scroll down. It just seems like that D for the WSAD is just getting clipped off because of bad layout, and you can certainly see there's plenty of room at the bottom of the screen. And then when you switch over the controller, it doesn't really matter. This is more of just a menu telling you what the controls are. Like, even when I click PS4 here, it doesn't really change anything. Like, the controls are still there. I figured out a way to get things to scroll. Interesting. So maybe the trick is you have to hit A. Interesting. So there is a scroll button. It's just poorly laid out. Alright, that's more than enough setup. 5 minutes. Language, English, of course. Did we see any subtitles? Nope. No subtitles. Interesting. So there's either going to always be subtitles, no dialogue at all, or this game is just not accessible to people who are deaf, which is always a shame and frankly unacceptable. We in the video game industry, more than most industries, are pretty accessible with subtitles. Now, a lot of times subtitles aren't designed for the deaf in the sense that they don't have sounds that are happening in the environment that are important also in the subtitles. But at least it's slightly playable. Let's begin the new game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just all text on screen, so there's no reason to revered, exalted, wise. That's what we owls aspire to be. Over the centuries, we have worked hard to build up the respect that people have for us. And as times get harder, you too, as my students, shall carry the weight of the owlhood upon your shoulders. I can see you're already a fine young owl, Otus. In time, I will mold you into the spitting image of myself. No need to look so nervous. This is a great moment for you. So, there was a Zelda game called Skyward Sword, where you were flying around a lot. I think that certainly influenced this. Kid Icarus influenced this. Super Mario Bros. 3 with the Tanuki suit influenced this, according to Wikipedia. So there's a lot of Nintendo love in this game. Despite being born as a mute, under my tutelage you will become one of the pillars of the community. So right at the beginning they're solving the age-old problem of why does the video game protagonist never speak for himself. I recently played a game where it was called a game called Abduction, where you never spoke whatsoever, but people talk to you, and literally there were so many questions you should be asking and could have been asking as the character and as a video game player. Well, I see there's plenty we have to work on. I have to applaud this game for waiting until I hit a button to move forward. I've run into a short run of games where the dialogue just goes forward and you just have to speed read it, basically. Do not worry, I will strengthen you out. I will straighten you out. So, inherently, the name Owlboy in a game where you run around and play as an owl doesn't particularly interest me, but in the old NES era where games were just, games were just anything anybody could think of, I mean, we did play a whole series of games with a blue hedgehog. And we did play a whole series with a mustached plumber. So playing as an owl, not unheard of and not unlikely. It just kind of feels weird now in modern times. Like, almost, I would say 80+% of all games has you play as an adult, usually male army person that can shoot guns. So I've been thinking that perhaps your talents simply lie elsewhere. So today we'll be doing some flying. I bet you've been looking forward to this for a while. Good, now listen closely. All you need to do is jump off the ground. Then when you're in midair, spread your wings and flap them. The owl cloak I gave you should take care of the rest. So maybe they just maybe these are humans that dress up as owls and live as owls, because one would think that a species of humanoid owls would be flying like almost from birth. Go, Otus. Show me what you can do. Alright, you're flying. Now try to move around a bit. See that platform up there? Fly up there and land on that island. Then I'll teach you real tricks. So, if I jump up and just move, I can fly. But if you jump up and hit A, you also fly. And there was a game called Child of Light where about halfway through the game, well, I think it was even like a quarter through the game, you got the ability to fly. And that can certainly ruin a video game, just giving somebody the ability to fly too early. I'd like to fall off an edge and see if I can catch myself in the safety of a tutorial. Apparently there's a exhaustion meter or something because I didn't make it. Well, Otus, that was some terrible flying. I have to say, I'm really disappointed. Most students pick this up instantly. Tomorrow we'll go back to normal studies. It pains me to see such inept flying. Ouch, what a mean teacher. Quickly, Otus, that was... Now some of this isn't requiring me to hit A, and is moving forward, so now I have to take back the congratulations I gave to the game. Like, you need to very consistently, when doing text dialogue, always let the player just pause. I'm holding the controller in my hand, pressing no buttons, and it skipped over a line of dialogue that I'll never get to read unless I just try to play this game again for that one line of dialogue, which wouldn't waste my time. The drought isn't as patient with your sluggishness as I am. So this teacher went from a nice guy to an arrogant jerk. Maybe he was always an arrogant jerk and they're just revealing it slowly. Why have you left the water jug on the ground? Pick it up immediately, hurry up. That's weird to have things just appear. Hang on. You've been sloshing the jug on. Let me check if there's any water left. Put the jug down here. So, there's this throw technique. No! Told you put it down, not smash it. How are we supposed to bring water to the village now? I will not forget this. I'll make sure that I was aware of what your incompetence has cost us. Do you understand? Wow, I cannot describe how disappointed I am in you, Otus. Leave me. I'll bring water to Valley myself. Now in the background it looks like the whole village is on fire. Otus, you failed me again and again and again. Seriously? Today, there are no lessons. All you need to do today is talk to the other villagers. Simple enough, right? Even for you. Have them tell you what they think of you and your ineptitude. Don't come back until you know what I need to know. This almost feels like a nightmare sequence. This is just mean. And see, now it's dark and I'm getting these shadows and... I feel like I'm gonna get credits or something happening. So, the truth about you? Are you sure you want to hear it? So the whole world's falling apart. I don't know why you would want to, like, start your game this way. You can't go back down. Like, is it just to characterize our main character as a self-loathing person or as an incompetent, hated person? You want to know the truth? You mute. Wouldn't be able to tell anyone anyway. And see, now I have a health bar in the top left for some reason. Like, here's a good question. How is he asking people to tell him the truth about him when he's mute? Why so nervous, Otus? course, you have every reason to be. Man, this is like the exact opposite of how you would start, like, Wind Waker or most of the more kid-friendly Zelda games. Even Ocarina of Time starts you in a bright, happy environment. Like, seriously, start a game like this, it makes me kind of feel like, you know what, this is too depressing, I just want to leave and not play the game anymore. This is not the right foot to start any story on. Otus, Otus! Finally awake, are you? Sigh. We're going to be late. Good thing I came here to wake you up, or you would have slept for another hour. Get out of bed immediately and meet me outside. So it was all a nightmare, but it still feels very much like... how did I do that? Like, what did I just do to crash into those books? Let's grab this and drink it. Alright, and so I drank some tea and now I have some extra life. And then left trigger to enter, which seems a little wrong for button. I would prefer either pressing up on the D-pad or an A button. And see, this music sounds like and feels like what the game should have started out with. Even if you were to have the game start right here, have you fly around and do a tutorial mission, and then say hit your head and have a nightmare there, at that point, starting on a happy moment would be better. Otus, don't zone out. Over here. About time, Otus. This guy is a jerk. We'll be keeping watch over Valley today. There have been pirates about lately. You know the drill. Report to me or the guards if you see anything suspicious. Any questions? No? Then get to it. And I guess these are more human than owls. And so those are your coins flying through this. There's our walls. What if this? And this is like a Mario 2 eat the radishes thing, and I guess the question is, how much can I overpower myself? And I guess the answer is just by a little bit. Now, I fell there, but I don't know if that was because I pushed the land button or just got close to the ground. Higher Valley Plaza, lower Otus's resistance. And there was an instance where I just pressed up to fly. Like, and we get some more coins. And so we're going to, like, sometimes it feels like pressing up to fly works, and sometimes it doesn't. I think I just ate something I wasn't supposed to. And if you use the right stick, you can aim and throw things. Now, typically in games, you want to be ahead of the curve if you can be, and get coins. Although, particularly in this instance, I don't think there's any reason for that. It seems like the X button has a spin, and then the B button has this roll, A is jump, Y seems to do nothing right now. Nice big chest there. I'm trying to think in my head what is going to end up being purchasable. Clearly, in some way, we're going to increase our life. Our life is really, really low right now. An armor piece would make more sense. There's another treasure chest that we'll try and get there in a second. Yeah, so if you're near an edge, like this, and then you press up, you fly. If you don't, you just do fall, but I guess we can see how much fall damage we can take. It seems like an infinite amount to me. And those certainly don't seem like things. Now I've noticed if you hit A a second time, you put away your wings, your flying cape. There's somebody suspicious. But even though you put your wings away, it doesn't really change anything because you are still able just to push up or left or right and fly some more. So this is going to be a heavily flying focused game. Maybe they'll introduce an enemy at some point that makes it more difficult to fly or makes it impossible to fly for a while, something that stuns you or hurts your wings. There certainly is a level of like game design that I've never really been able to see anybody do a great job of making vertical levels as easily as it seems to be to make horizontal levels. Notice I found a secret, which that tells us a couple of very important things. There are secret passages like those, and we should be looking for them. If we can see something on screen we can't reach, I would probably hold back from just always looking for secrets, because the game was pretty obvious on that chest. This almost certainly is going to be either an entrance to a secret temple or a fast travel location. Like, he doesn't seem to even know what it is, and it's right next to his house, which is questionable. Like, one would assume you would have asked somebody or somebody would know. And the entire wall is blocked off. This is the problem that happened with Child of Light 2, is that as soon as you make a vertical level, you've got to invent very unnatural looking and feeling barriers to keep people from just flying off into the sky forever, or you just make some reason why you can't fly certain levels. Like, you can say somebody can't fly that high just in general, and that limits the top, but there's really no reason why you couldn't fly forever to the left or right, and that's why we're seeing a lot of barriers on left and right. This guy doesn't even have a cloak, and frankly, he doesn't even really look like an owl. Hey man, keeping watch today? Maybe you want to do something later. Otus and Kitty, the unstoppable team. Maybe we should take that trip to the Advent today. Let me know when you're done for the day. I'll be here fixing the cannon. Gotta be prepared for anything, right? Well, I've already seen something suspicious. But I guess I gotta find the person to report it to. This too feels like a teleportation spot. Have kind of like a bongo playing guy. Apparently Otus only talks to people from the right side. That must be his good camera side. Hi, little Otus. Looking for pirates? I think I've seen Sam. Saw them to the west at Lookout Point. Maybe check it out. Also, there's be a troublemaker around the village. It's not you, is it? Somebody's stealing my bonkers. Don't be slacking off now. Interesting that the game made a specific point to take away our meter when we were talking to him. This is Bombo's house. Is he going to... like, I could use this Dreamweaver. Interesting, you can jump on this. Somebody spent some time programming this. That doesn't just work. But it also looks like I could go lower, but that's actually just a fire pit, isn't it? You get different music when you enter this house than what you had out there. Interesting. There's a spa. Natural hot springs. You owls are sure hard working. Strike students are crying about keeping watch all the way from Advent, and here you are too. I prefer to relax in my hot spring. You seem to struggle with the heat, my boy. Let me teach you a little trick to deal with it. Aha, feel that? It's all about accepting the scalding water. Relax in it, soak in it, give it a try. There you go, lad. Never forget to take your time to relax. Take it from old Toby, he's a relaxer. Hey, interesting. So, that actually increased my total health. You set any records in your life? I'm trying for the record of relaxation. So, I was boiling hot in the sauna before, and now I'm able to take the heat. And this is the way to the professor's lab. I feel like I'm gonna get some Pokemon if I go to the professor's lab. Let's see, did I look at everything? This game needs a menu or something. And I guess it does have one. Let's see, let's take a moment. The automatic checkpointing, nice to see. The options, we've already looked at that. So you only need the A mark when throwing. I don't know why there would even be an option not to have that. I found 212 of only 300 coins in the entire area, which is interesting because that then turns this from being a infinite amount of coins you could grind to buy an infinite number of like health items or increase your magic if we're going to have any magic points or ability points or anything like that. It now means it's more of a 100% collectathon attempt to get all the coins, and I imagine there's probably just enough, the exact amount of coins in the entire game equals the exact amount of items to buy. And when we look here, I would heavily guess that the symbol on the top left, the owl face, is like a 3 or 4 heart piece collectible to increase your health. I'd assume the bar to the right at the top is your health bar, and that's a little weird because that means we're already at half our maximum amount of health. Coins are obviously coins. There's a second bar, so we'll see what that means. And then there seems to be a premium kind of currency, and then a couple of other items, and then 3 to 6 pieces of equipment to collect. It's a little odd that there's just a return option here. Interesting. And that was the back button, and it's the same menu. If I hit start, I go to system. If I hit back, I go to items. Interesting. Well, so far we haven't really done anything in the game, but so far so good. Like, I'm seeing a game that feels like an old NES game, but certainly compared to an old NES game actually looks better, and will play better, obviously, and be a beneficiary of all of the things that have changed. Let's see, now at that point, I guess, well, I guess there's quite a few more coins to get, isn't it? That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask that you like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.